I think we did a few things out there to ourselves to take away a chance to have victory. I know our guys invested a lot in the last couple of weeks. I can't argue with the way they prepare, their effort, their attitude. Obviously, the fourth quarter there to get a resurgence and have every faith and belief that they're going to get it done. But just we're not good enough at this point to get past that hump. I think critically, turnovers are again a big part of it. Coming away 2 chances in the red zone with 0 points, you're never going to beat a quality opponent or a ranked opponent with that. Try to be opportunistic. I know where we're at as a program right now. We got to try to create some first downs and some bonus possessions, and we're 50-50 on that stuff. But with 3 games remaining, I see so many positive things. I know it's frustrating. It's very frustrating for me as a head coach, as an assistant, as a player, as a senior, as a parent, as an alumni, as a fan, as an administrator. I get it. I understand it. It's not like I haven't been here before. I know where we need to be, and we're not there yet. It was a big recruiting weekend for us, so hopefully some of those kids see the opportunity to come in here and help us to get to where we need to be. The encouraging thing for me and our coaches, I think, is a lot of our younger players, a guy like Corliss Marshall, a guy like Alex Collins, our 2 freshman guards, Hunter Henry, sophomores like Jonathan Williams, Brandon Allen, Keon Hatcher came alive a little bit tonight. DeArthur Collin made a catch. Guys are definitely moving in the right direction, and they'll get to where we want to be. When that day comes, it'll be very rewarding. Other than that, open up for questions. Alex, I think, is all right. They took him for an X-ray there. BA basically got cleated in the first quarter there. Extremely resilient, tough kid. I mean, when I went out there and saw that, I quickly turned away. It wasn't exactly the prettiest thing you've ever seen. It was a pretty deep gash. He got stapled up and was trying to get back out there as soon as possible. So those kids, I think, will be fine.
The onside kick,
Yeah, we've been working. We got 3 kickers. I know Zach was going. Our guys over there on that far side weren't paying attention, and obviously we were offsides with Sprink, but wanted to give them a chance. Those 3 kickers, all of them have a design kick, and it's something that hopefully we can go to. Probably, in retrospect, wish we wouldn't have done it, but there was 2 guys with 5 guys over there on that side. We had the numbers, but obviously didn't execute it.
Formation. Did that come in this week? I mean,
you know what? I drew that up as a head coach. You get a lot of time. It's something. Beener is a very, very athletic kid, and he had about 3 or 4 options there and made something happen, and obviously kept our drive alive. But we just got to kind of create where we're at. As a head coach, I think we have to create some first downs, which has been the fake punts and some stuff like that. And, good execution, but not enough in the end.
That play had nothing to do with any of the talk this week about?
No, no. You guys read too much into that. No, it was. I didn't even call it a game. We didn't even call it a swing. It's called field goal Beener because Beener's in there. So Beener went in, and the Bray Cook comes out, and we put it in on. We practiced it one time Tuesday, one time Thursday, and out there today. So.
The 3rd and 4th down stops late in the 2nd quarter down there on the 1-yard line. How big does it turn out to be? Not
huge. I mean, you go in at halftime and it's an 11-point game, and you realize that you stalled out twice in the red zone. Once on downs, obviously, but the other time on a turnover, and you just can't have that. One of the things we always say is touchdowns, not field goals. And the flip side of that thing you never mention is a turnover. I mean, turnovers in the red zone take points off the board, and are as a team that's trying to find its identity. It just and I can't, Jim, I know he's going to second guess himself and say I should have thrown on one of those, but I think we're trying to establish, hey, you got to be able to. The ball's on the 1-yard line. You got to be able to run it in. There's got to be a want to get it in, and obviously that day will come.
Looked like he faked the injury. Did you see that?
I didn't. We didn't. We didn't, right? No. Yeah. My coach was saying. We'll let you can ask us that one.
You were talking to the officials. What was the explanation on the 2 offensive passes?
Yeah, well, by design, once in a while, you might have a player rub an occasional defensive player, and very rarely gets called. But the second one wasn't anywhere in our scheme in the development of that play. There's no reason that should be part of the call. So I just asked the back judge, and he said that he saw it. I think it was that one was on Hunter, if I'm not mistaken. The first one on Lavin, if Lavin he's such a big guy when he's running, I think he hit their guy and he spun him around, and they they thought he was picking, and he just kind of rubbed them off the route. Those are two critically timed penalties. Both of them were third down completions.
When you look at the stat sheet and you see how good a lot of the numbers look, what are you thinking?
I think the part as a head coach that you have to do is you have to be so far ahead of where you are right now in recruiting and player to program development. And there's so many positive things going on right now that it doesn't pop out to people that aren't in the program every day, and we're learning how to run the football better. We're learning how to do certain things in the passing game, and it's not what anybody wants to hear. It's baby steps. I'd much rather be sprinting, but right now we're walking.
How disappointing was that goal line stand that Auburn had, obviously, late in the first half, and how much?
Like you said, very, very. There was no doubt. I wanted to go for it. And what I usually do as a head coach, anytime we're approaching third down, I'll say, "Hey, you have 2 downs," which means you got fourth. And I said that all the way through. We're going to come away with a touchdown here. We're going to die trying, and obviously weren't able to get it in. I think both of them were backside linebackers, a play that we got to get cut off, and it should be a routine play.
What did you think of Auburn's zone read today?
Auburn's what? You know what? The power read was actually getting us a little bit more when they're pulling a guard and it comes up inside. I don't know how much they wanted to run the quarterback there when maybe they felt secure with the game, but they got a good scheme, they got a good offense, and execute it. And we thought we were going to be able to run the football and do some things that we just had to perform better for 4 quarters to be able to win that game.
You talked about a lot of shake-up and opportunities and stuff for younger players, and saw Brooks Ellis in there. I don't think I noticed any other change with the starting lineup. But also, is Spate, is he injured or?
2 things. Brooks Ellis, I think, in 2 weeks of repping there at Mike, in retrospect, wish I would have made that move quite a bit sooner. I think he's a natural at that position. I think it's going to be fun to watch him develop and move forward. He just athletically can make a lot of plays. He's truly comfortable in there, it looks like, and a guy that I think will get a lot better in the short term. We had planned on using a couple of DeArthur. Cowan, I think, got rattled a little bit. We'd planned on using him a little bit more, and then some of the seniors responded, which was another younger guy that we were going to. I forgot the last part of the question.
Spate.
Oh, Spate. No, we had him repping there at Mike linebacker. Martrell is doing a lot of really good things, but again, to get to where we need to be as a program, these guys got to know how everything works together. It's not just. It is a lot about what you do on the field, but it's what you do off the field. It's about being on time. It's about being accountable in the classroom, and Martrell is doing everything he can, and I appreciate his effort, but he's got to get it all together to get out there.
Time for a couple more.
Coach, what about the kickoff return by Marshall? Talked about how that sparked the team.
It did. As we all know, Marshall, Corliss can run. He's explosive, brings energy. He's a guy. I get a kick out of him because he's always beating me. He wants to go back to safety bad. But it's something, especially when Nate was a little bit dinged up. We had to move him over there to running back. I think he's an explosive player that his potential is off the charts, and that's the kind of kid he is. He's an energy guy and very, very raw, and he takes a lot of pride in what he's doing. I have a classic example. He came in. I don't think the semester started off good for him, but he's taking more pride in what he's doing in the classroom the last 3 or 4 weeks than anything else he's doing, and that's encouraging.
Brett, you mentioned some plays. Maybe right at the start of the game, the catch that Devontae almost had a good throw by Brandon. Did you see that?
I didn't see and we don't run replays back on our board, so I know it's close, but we said, we're going to have to make some deep throws and make some plays on contested balls, and unfortunately we weren't able to come up with that one. But, there's a classic one. We score, the quarterback has a nice play, it was over towards their sideline, he loses the ball, my defensive guys are going, I think there was 3 or 4 of our guys around the ball, and we can't come up with it. I looked at the onside kick. I didn't know Sprinkle was offsides, but it bounced right off their guy's knee, and you're thinking one of those plays is just going to come right back into our hands, and we're not good enough to create our own breaks right now.
Didn't get a lot of breaks, maybe.
What's that?
Didn't get a lot of breaks tonight.
No, but you make your own breaks. You create your own luck. I understand the ball bounces certain ways at times, and I'd much rather get all these bad bounces out of our system now, so when we does start creating some great advantage, the ball bounces our way a little bit.
Brandon looked like he was spinning the ball a lot better tonight. Did you attribute that to health?
I think so, but also practice. I'm a big believer in what you do in practice is what you do in the game, and bottom line, he's healthier than he's ever been, which led to, we didn't practice him last Tuesday. Most of our starters we didn't, and then he practiced Wednesday, Thursday, and then practiced Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I tell you what, I mean, that kid, he definitely gives us our best chance to win. There ain't no doubt about that. And at this point, and if you would have saw that gaping hole in his front his shin, for him to play that game the way he did was pretty impressive.